What has been the most frequent culprits of plastic waste in your households? Any guesses? Plastic packets. And that includes almost 90% of food items or general items that enter your home. Am I right? But you think that most of them can be recycled, right? No, that's not true. If you weren't aware, there are different grades of plastic that is present for these plastic covers. And this is usually something that you can find in all of these covers in the form of a recycling symbol with a number on it. And that is called as the plastic resin identification code. And this is the way in which we are able to identify what kind of plastic it is made of. And generally, any of these plastic packets that fall into the category of 5, 6 or 7 usually cannot be recycled. And these are mostly the wrappers that we get our chocolates, our biscuits, our chips, our snacks. Most of our daily food items come in these plastic wrappers. So what can you do with them? I mean, I understand that avoiding all of these plastic covers or packets can be impossible, especially when most food items come in them. So the easiest thing that any of us, including me and you, can start doing today to make sure that these plastic packets do not end up at the landfill is to start making something called as an eco-brick. So how many of you have heard of this term eco-brick? Please comment below and let me know. So what is an eco-brick? In very simple terms, it's a PET bottle filled with clean and dried plastic which is non-recyclable until the PET bottle is tightly packed in. And the key words here are non-recyclable and clean and dried. Again, the PET bottle is another common culprit when it comes to plastic pollution in our homes. Again, if you are somebody who is into fizzy drinks, you will find a lot of these in your homes. And the thing is, an eco-brick becomes a double dhamaka because it actually helps us deal with two plastic nuisances at once. So how do you make it? So firstly, you need to clean and dry both the PET bottle and the plastic covers. This is very, very important. You just need to wash it with water and maybe dishwash and then just keep it to air dry. But this is super important because we don't need moisture or any food particles remaining in these plastic covers, because if that is the case, it could go in and it could create some kind of fungus which is not really ideal. So firstly, take your plastic PET bottle and then when you start with, take your light plastic covers, the ones which are quite light and not very heavy. So take those and then put it into the bottom of the bottle so that the bottom part of the bottle is well filled up. After that, you can then keep filling your plastic waste that is already cleaned and dried, and you can use anything which is very long, a stick or any rod or something, to just push the plastic inside so that it can settle inside properly. And then all you need to do is close the bottle and then keep it in a corner which is cool and dry. Just make sure that you put the bottles into a corner where you have an eye on it and you are reminded constantly about this so that you do not forget to keep adding those unnecessary plastic waste into this bottle. So keep doing this until the day when your PET bottle is completely stuffed that you cannot put even one single bit of plastic into it. Your doubt might be what all can be added to this eco-brick. So it's quite simple. If you look at your plastic wrappers and you see that these are in the numbers that I mentioned, which is 5, 6 or 7, which we are unsure will be recyclable, you can just stuff it into these eco-bricks. Another thing I make sure that I put into these eco-bricks are those tiny stray pieces of plastic. Those items will get lost in the waste if you just give it for recycling. I make sure that I put these tiny stray pieces of plastic that I find anywhere in the house into this eco-brick. Any of those which you think cannot be recycled or you think may get lost in the system, make sure to put it into these eco-bricks. So what are the things that you should not be adding to an eco brick? That is again a very interesting question, because this is where a lot of people get eco bricks wrong. So the things that you should not be adding includes metal, glass, paper and biodegradable or compostable products. So this is because metal and glass can be easily industrially recycled and can be reused on and on and on. Paper is something again which can be recycled or even composted. Finally, the biodegradable products are meant to be composted. If any of these go into an eco brick, it becomes a total waste of that material. Did you also know that there's a kind of a golden formula for the ideal weight for an eco brick? I'm sure most of you had not heard about it. So this is basically a weight that will make sure that the eco brick that you make is of good quality. So the formula is that the density of an eco brick that you make should be more than 0.33 gram per milliliter. Meaning, if you have a 500 ml bottle, the ideal weight for an eco brick made out of that bottle should be 0.33 into 500, which will be 165 gram. The weight is important so that the quality is good and the strength of that eco brick is good. You do not want any eco brick which might be too light, too weak or too squishy being used to form any object or structure, because that could totally compromise that structure or product that is made. And until you reach that weight, make sure that you keep stuffing your bottle with the plastic you have around. This is one thing I'm very sure most of you were not aware of. Now finally, I'll be answering the one question that's already in everybody's mind right now. What do you do with this? You can't just let it sit around at home, right? You need to be able to do something with this. The thing is, you can actually use an eco brick to make a lot of products. You can make chairs, tables, walls. So many items can actually be made with these eco bricks because of their property of being very long lasting. It does not decompose easily, making it a very strong and durable product. And if you aren't somebody who is crafty enough to make any of these products using these eco bricks, don't worry, there is lots of other solutions for you. What you need to do is collect a set of these eco bricks and then parcel them to one of the organizations who actually use these eco bricks to make several items. And don't worry, I will be listing a lot of these organizations down in the description box below. So I hope all of my eco warriors out there will definitely start making these eco bricks already. Our ultimate goal in the end is to try and reduce the consumption of these plastic waste as such. But as long as there is a plastic problem, these eco bricks are definitely a start that you and I can start making today itself. You and I have a role to play in this ecosystem that we have here. And our role is to make sure that we are doing the most that we can. And building more and more eco bricks is not the target. What we're trying to do is to make sure that we have less and less plastic waste to be added to this eco bricks and slowly reduce the amount of eco bricks that has to be produced to make sure that these plastic waste don't get dumped. So I really hope that you did find this video informative, and if you did, please make sure that you share it with your friends and family so that they can also start making these eco bricks at their own homes. And if you did like this video, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel for more information on living a more sustainable life. So thank you so much for being here with me. So I will see you next time with another video. So until then, bye bye.